Leland. Um, Gonna try something a bit different today. Um, huh. Can't find the game. Yeah, Empire Earth. I'm not sure why I'm not finding it. Okay, whatever. It'll say Age of Empires, but I'm actually not playing Age of Empires. So, okay. Wait. Just a minute. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's get into this. Well, the reason I'm playing this, is because, delete. No, I don't want it. Leland. Play campaign. Yeah, for the viewers there, this is not Age of Empires. This is Empire Earth. For some reason, Twitch can't find this game, so whatever. Start new game. Welcome to Empire Earth 2 tutorials. The first tutorial will introduce you to basic mechanics of game, your civilization, the Aztec. Your civilization, the Aztec, is looking for a place to build its first city. Tentacle, whatever. In helping them to establish themselves in the world and become a thriving and successful people. You will learn how to move around the world Gather resources and construct buildings. Let's try finding a suitable location to found your city center. Okay. You can close this window by pressing close button. Histories. Sometime between the 12th and 13th centuries AD, a tribe known as the Aztecs entered the Valley of Mexico. Initially despised by the natives of the region, the Aztecs roamed the valley and survived any way they could. Realizing they must find a permanent home and build a city in order to win the acceptance and respect of their neighbors, Tenoch, the Aztec leader, led his people to a swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco and found Tenoch. I will call that Tenoch. In the early 14th century, the Aztecs labored hard to transform the land into a productive and prosperous city. From the city, the Aztec people and its culture spread to most of Central America before the arrival of the Spanish in the 16th century. Okay, yeah. Okay.
This is the Mission Objectives panel. This screen displays the locations and details of each objective you are given during the course of a mission. When a new objective appears, a flag will sometimes be placed on the map to indicate the area where the objective can be completed. Information about an objective will always appear first in this dialog box. Left-click the Close button to continue. Place your mouse cursor over the flag that has just appeared and notice how the text on the right-hand side of the screen becomes highlighted. This is the objective that is associated with this flag. If you hold your mouse cursor over the flag long enough, a helpful tooltip will appear that explains the objective in greater detail. Tooltips offer useful information about almost any object found in the game and can be accessed just by hovering your cursor over anything you see. This screen also offers other useful information about your current mission. Located below your objectives is the Information button. Click it. Clicking the Briefing button will display the introductory mission briefing text. The History button provides historical background relative to the current mission, and the Hints button provides clues about the best way to accomplish your objectives if ever you become stuck. You can also pause and unpause the game at any time by pressing Shift Pause. Now press the Close button and press the Tab key to exit this screen. You can also get helpful information about every aspect of Empire Earth 2 by opening up the Empire Earth Encyclopedia. Go ahead and open it now by clicking on the icon in the upper right part of the screen.
I thought the game was glitched for a second. It was all black. See?
From here you can gain detailed information about any part of the game just by clicking the related topic on the left side of the screen. Feel free to return to browse through the topics as long as you'd like. When you are ready to continue with this tutorial, close the encyclopedia by clicking the large X at the bottom of the screen.
Okay, getting started. Here you'll learn the basics of playing Empire Earth and setting up your game. Master these skills and you'll be well on your way to build a thriving, powerful civilization. In this section, you'll learn how to navigate and use the interface on this Empire Earth. In this section, you'll learn... Okay, I think I got it.
By going into the Empire Earth Encyclopedia, you have also accomplished an objective. At any point during this scenario, if you are unsure what to do next, you can check your current objectives by going back to the Mission Objectives panel. Left-clicking the Objectives button located to the right of the epoch display in the top center of the screen will take you there. The Objectives button looks like a flag and flashes whenever your mission objectives are updated. You can also call up previous text messages or voiceovers by pressing the H key. Check your updated mission objectives now by selecting the icon or pressing Alt-O. Your next objective is to select a citizen. So let's go back to the main screen now. Press the Tab key to exit this screen. Now, please select one of your citizens by left-clicking on a unit in the middle of the screen.
What is it?
Good. Now look at the information provided in the Unit Information panel located in the bottom center right portion of your screen. The panel will provide valuable information such as hit points, attack rating, range and speed on any currently selected object. It will also display the unit's current loyalty rating, which is its resistance to being converted by enemy priests. The panel to the left of this one is the Unit Action panel. This lists all the abilities available to the selected object, including construction options, behaviors, special actions, and special powers. There are also other ways to select units besides left-clicking on them individually. You may also hold down the Shift key while clicking on different units to select a group. Other ways of selecting groups include holding down the left mouse button and dragging diagonally across the group to create a selection box. Releasing the button selects the units in the box. You may also double-click on a certain type of unit to select all units of that type on screen. Experiment with this now.
Here. I'll do my best. Moving. I'll do my best.
So the reason I wanted to play this is because I started playing Halo Wars again, and like it reminded me how much I actually really kind of liked RTS games back in the day. I mean, I never the only RTS games I really did play was Empire Wars, Star Wars, and that was about it, really. I dabbled in a few stuff, but it never really got me. But I think I want to start trying getting into more of these types of games. And I just dabbled into my dad's games. I forgot what I'm supposed to do.
I will. What is it? Yes? I'll do my best. All right.
Final clear. Oh, okay, I see.
Ready.
Now, with your citizens selected, right-click near the rocks on the screen.
Moving.
Good. That is the most common method for issuing a movement command in the game. Another method is to use the mini-map, located in the lower left corner of your screen. The mini-map is a top-down view of the entire play area of your current game. Black areas are places about which you have no knowledge, while dim areas are areas you have been but have no current information about. Brightly lit areas are those places within your line of sight. Left-clicking on a position on the mini-map will shift your main view to that location. With your citizens selected, right-click on the mini-map where a signal flare has just been placed to tell them to move there. Signal flares are used to attract your attention to important events. Sometimes it means you are under attack, and other times, like now, it is related to an objective. As your units move out, you can scroll the screen to follow them by pushing the mouse cursor to any edge of the screen or by using the arrow keys. One of the most important aspects of Empire Earth 2 is the cycle of seasons. In snow or rain, your units will move slower and their sight range will be reduced. Although every unit on the map is affected by adverse weather conditions, moving units over long distances and exploring or invading another player's territory is much easier in summer or fall. Your citizens have arrived at an excellent location to build your first city. There are abundant resources nearby and plenty of room to build structures. With one citizen selected, left-click on the Build Civilian Structures icon in the Unit Action panel and select the City Center icon. Now, move the mouse cursor near the trees. Notice how the ghost of the city center replaces the cursor. If you move the ghost over trees or resources or other objects, the ghost turns red, which means this building cannot be built here. One or more icons indicating what the problem with the building placement is will also show up over the building ghost in this case. And the tooltip on the right side of the screen explains the exact reason. If you move the cursor over empty terrain that is mostly flat, it turns green, which means the site is suitable for construction. Move the ghost close to the trees and other resources, and left-click when it is green. Your citizen will begin construction at that location. You may select additional citizens and order them to help with the construction by right-clicking on the site. When you have finished construction, select your city center.
Yes?
You can produce new citizens from your city center by left-clicking the citizen button in the action panel. Each citizen costs a certain amount of food. You can quickly check on how much food you currently have, as well as your stockpile of other resources, by looking at the icons at the bottom of the screen near the Object Information panel. From top to bottom, they are population, territories, technology points, food, wood, stone, and gold. There are also 2 slots for special resources, but in this tutorial, we'll just be talking about the basic resources of food, wood, stone, and gold, which are essential in constructing all units and buildings. The other resources will be covered in another tutorial. Produce as many citizens as your food stockpile will allow by clicking rapidly on the citizen icon. This queues up the production order for your convenience. Alternatively, you could order 1 or more citizens and then hit the Cycle Production button so that this building will keep producing what you initially ordered as long as there are resources for it. Each citizen that is produced contributes 1 point toward your current population level. Some units contribute more than 1 point. When you reach your maximum population capacity, you will be unable to build more units until you expand. You expand by building more city centers and houses. As your citizens are produced, you can order them to collect more food from the nearby forage bush and gold from the nearby gold pile by selecting them and right-clicking on the appropriate resource. Citizens are the only units that can gather resources. They will gather as much as they can from that resource pile and carry it back to the nearest city center or warehouse that you own. Alternatively, you can select the Set Rally Point icon in the action panel of your city center and then left-click on a nearby resource. Your citizens will now begin to harvest that resource as soon as they are produced. Additionally, you can find and select idle citizens in order to give them tasks by clicking the Idle Citizen button, located second from the left under the minimap. As a further shortcut to this, you can assign citizens to resources in a very general way, just by clicking on a resource in your resource stockpile display in the lower central portion of your screen. Right-click to pick up a citizen from that resource, and left-click to assign an idle citizen to it. Now, gather 100 food, 100 stone, 100 wood, and 100 gold.
Okay, so a lot of information. Okay, so oh, gold.
Ready. What is it? Moving.
Okay, everyone, we got enough stuff, so go get everybody go get gold.
He who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, I think this is one of the reasons I wasn't into RTS, because like it takes a while to get this stuff going. But I think One of the things with these type of games is that you have to remember patience is
Excellent.
a virtue.
Now select your city center again and produce a scout. Order your scout to explore the area by selecting him and left-clicking the Explore button in his action panel. Units on Explore will try to reveal as much of the map as they can to the exclusion of any other task. This means they won't respond when attacked, so be careful who you choose to send out exploring.
I am your instrument.
You can also choose to send a unit on a search and destroy mission. This setting also sends a unit to explore the map, except it makes the unit immediately engage the first hostile unit it sees until either one is dead. More powerful units than the scout are usually tasked with search and destroy. The last lesson of this tutorial is about how garrisoning can improve your resource collection efforts. Select your city center and then right-click on it.
Leave it to me.
Note the rally flag is now on the building. This means that any citizen produced here will automatically garrison the building. The garrison display in the building's information panel shows you how many units are currently inside and the maximum number that can be garrisoned. Clicking on this will bring up a panel that shows what units are currently stationed there. Build a citizen now or select one of your other citizens and have it garrison the city center by pressing the G key and left-clicking the building.
July? Oh, game calendar, okay.
I am your instrument. I am your instrument. I am your instrument is lost.
The information panel on the city center has now changed to show the new garrison level. As a result of garrisoning, all resources dropped off at this city center will have a percentage bonus applied to them as they enter your stockpile. The greater the garrison level, the greater the bonus. Congratulations on completing the first tutorial.
Thank you.
The Aztecs have made their home and claimed their territory. They are well on their way to building a lasting empire that will be known for its wealth, culture, and power. Congratulations on finishing the first Empire Earth 2 tutorial.
Continue. Okay. As techno grew, specialized craftsmen have labored laborers came to the city and helped build its magnificent buildings. A tribe of vagabonds that wandered into the valley were fast becoming more technological and economically powerful than their neighbors. This was aided by an extremely well-trained and disciplined military. The Aztecs formed alliances with some of their neighbors, but also embarked on ambitious campaigns of conquest. By the 15th century, the Aztec Empire had grown to encompass no less than 38 tributary states. When the Spanish conquistador Cortez arrived on the borders of the Aztec Empire in 1519, the Aztecs were clearly the richest and most dominant power in the region. However, many fiercely independent tribes still remained who hated and feared Aztecs. Cortez planned to use them in his attempt to conquer Mexico and for Spain. Okay. Welcome to the second Empire Earth tutorial. This tutorial will introduce you to advanced construction projects, command and control techniques, and combat. Yay! Your civilization progressed rapidly since we left it. You now control several territories and have learned numerous technologies. Your capital, Tenoch, has developed into a thriving city. The Aztecs are clearly the most powerful nation in the region, but soon a new power will arrive and threaten their dominance. Historically, the Spanish conquered the Aztecs and all of Mexico. Let's see if you can take this opportunity to change history. Okie dokie. As Tenoch grew, specialized craftsmen and laborers came to the city and helped build its magnificent buildings. Oh wait, I think I already read this. Yeah, I did. So the thing.
Your civilization has grown beyond the borders of Tenochtitlan itself, and your people are now not just a city, they're a nation. In order to help defend your far-flung empire, you will have to build roads, walls, and fortresses. Exit this screen by pressing the Tab key, and let's get started.
Yes? Ready?
Yes? Here.
You can press the space bar to shift your view to the location that is currently being flared on the mini-map. We're going to build a road from our barracks out to this outpost so we can quickly move units there if needed. Scroll the screen back and select the nearby citizens and go into their Build Civilian Structures menu. Select the road icon in the Action panel.
I'm trying to Oh. What am I doing? What is it doing? Okay. So, are these the mines?
Yes?
Left-click once near the barracks in the lower right corner of the city. Now scroll towards the outpost and note how the ghost of the road stretches to follow the mouse. You can place a bend in the road at any time by left-clicking again. Also note how a ghost of a bridge appears as you pull the road over the river. This means that the citizens will automatically attempt to build a bridge at this point as they are constructing the rest of the road. When you've plotted the road to the outpost, left-click one last time near the structure and then right-click to end placement.
I guess. So they'll work on that. Hey, look, it's magic. They just hammer it and it magically appears. See? Then it just ends right here, so...
Let's go back and look at some of our military units standing near the city center. There are 7 classifications of land units in Empire Earth 2. The relationship between these classifications is true throughout every epoch of the game. The first class is the light infantry, represented by the crossbowmen on the left, with the blue glow underneath. Light infantry gain an attack bonus against heavy artillery and a smaller bonus against heavy infantry. Light and heavy infantry can also capture buildings. The second class is heavy artillery, represented by the trebuchet and its crew to the right of the crossbowmen. The heavy artillery gains an attack bonus against heavy infantry and a smaller bonus against light mounted. These units can also attack or bombard a selected area. The third class is heavy infantry, represented by the pikemen. The heavy infantry gains an attack bonus against light mounted and a smaller bonus against light artillery. The fourth class is light mounted, represented by the horse archer. The light mounted gains an attack bonus against light artillery and a smaller bonus against heavy mounted. The fifth class is light artillery, represented by the ballista. The light artillery gains an attack bonus against heavy mounted and a smaller bonus against light infantry. The sixth class is heavy mounted, represented by the elite cavalry. The heavy mounted gains an attack bonus against light infantry and a smaller bonus against heavy artillery. The seventh and final class is the Special Forces class, represented by the priest. This class includes priests, spies, and citizens, and has a bonus against no one, but also is not especially vulnerable to anyone. Priests, for example, are in this class because they do not attack other units, but instead attempt to convert them. If successful, the enemy unit comes under your control. The more priests attempting to convert a unit, the greater their chance of success. Sea and air units also have their own classifications that we will talk about in the following tutorials. For now, drag-select the group of military units that has been created for you near your city center and press Ctrl 1.
Lead the way.
You have just created a control group. Control groups are convenient ways of selecting large groups of objects quickly. Now, anytime you press 1, This group will automatically be selected. Some things you can do with your military units is to set their formation and stance. Click the Formation button in the Action panel and select the Wedge Formation. Formations in Empire Earth 2 help keep groups of units fighting together instead of getting spread too thin. Each formation has a different way of arranging units, depending on the formation's main purpose. The wedge, for instance, is generally better at attacking than the phalanx. Now select the stance icon in the action panel to assign a certain behavior type to these troops. Aggressive behavior will tell these units to attack and pursue any enemy they see. Defensive behavior will tell them to attack enemies they see, but not to pursue. Hold position will tell them to only attack enemies within range, but never to move from their location. Hold fire will tell them to never fire on anyone and never to move. Finally, cautious behavior will tell them to flee from enemies if attacked. For now, just leave it on defensive and move them closer to the barracks.
I'll go with defensive right now.
Run him through!
Those I want to turn the music down a little bit.
Lead the way! March!
Move the control group.
Run him through!
You're supposed to
By any means necessary.
take the microphone.
That was the attack alarm. Look at the mini-map to see where the latest flare has indicated an attack. Press spacebar to center our view on the attack location. It looks like the Spanish have decided to attempt to conquer your civilization. Press 1 to select your military, and right-click near the outpost while holding down the control key. This instructs your units to move to the location while attacking any enemies they encounter along the way. Press 1 twice to center your view on the control group. They'll use the road as much as they can to get to the target as fast as possible. When they arrive, right-click on the Spanish and watch your forces attack in formation. Because the Spanish are attacking with light and heavy mounted troops, it turns out our forces of heavy infantry and light artillery are the perfect counter.
Charge!
Run him through! Lead the way!
Great work. You have defeated the Spanish incursion. It's time to make sure they'll stay away. Select the citizens that built the road to the outpost and click on the Build Wall icon under Build Military Structures. You can place walls just like roads. Go ahead and connect the two wall sections by your outpost. Don't forget to right-click to finish placement. When the citizens finish building the wall, we'll make a gate and some towers.
We will build a wall and make the Mexicans pay for it.
What can I do?
Oh, I think.
Lead the way.
I just did construct a wall. Can I tear down the wall?
Lead the way. March. By any means necessary. March. Run them through.
Yes? What can I do? Moving. Right away.
Where are you going?
Here. Very well.
I already built the wall. What more do you want from me?
Lead the way. By any means necessary.
Yes?
How many walls do you want? Is there a glitch or something? I have no idea.
Lead the way.
Do you want me?
Run them through. March. Lead the way, by any means necessary. March! Lead the way, by any means necessary. March! Run them through! By any means necessary. March! Run them through! Lead the way, by any means necessary. March! Run them through! By any means necessary.
Oh, I see.
March!
Here.
are available and let make the Mexicans pay for it.
Yes? Ready. Here. Of course. Right away. Very well. Moving. Right away.
So I don't. Okay, I got the wall. So what else does it want me to do? What do you want me to do, game? I'm lost. I'm totally lost. Okay, I got. Do you want me to make a wall here? No.
Ready. Very well. Moving. Right away. Very well. Moving. Of course. What can I do?
Great. Now select one of the pieces of the wall that looks like a tower. Click the Upgrade to Tower button in the Action panel. This piece will now undergo a short period of reconstruction and will become a strong point on the wall, which can be garrisoned to increase its attack rating against approaching enemies. Click on a regular wall piece and select the Upgrade to Gate button. This will force several segments of wall to change into a gate, allowing you to move your units easily through your fortifications while denying entrance to enemies. Palisades are another type of wall citizens can build. Palisades are weaker and don't have any towers, but they are a cheap form of defense and will also allow gates. Now, let's build a fortress near the gate. Select some citizens and select Fortress from the Military Structures panel and place it close to your side of the gate.
Ready. Yes?
Fortresses are strong defensive structures that attack enemies within range. Units garrisoned in a fortress will have any damage done to them healed over time and increase the fortress's attack rating while they remain inside. The garrison capacity of a building considers a unit's population cost when determining how many units can be inside the building. So, for instance, twice as many infantry units can be garrisoned than mounted units. You can also use either a fortress or a city center to call an emergency by clicking the emergency icon in the building's action panel. This will automatically task the citizens in the same territory to garrison within the nearest fortress or city center. Clicking the same button again then sends them back to whatever they were doing. Go back to your city and select the pikeman standing near your barracks. Notice the icon in the lower right corner of his action panel. This is the patrol action button, and it is used to tell a unit or group of units to set a patrol path. Set a patrol path by clicking the button and left-clicking on the main map to set a series of waypoints you wish the unit to patrol. Right-clicking ends waypoint placement and sends the unit on his route.
Lead the way.
Now look at the icon just above the patrol icon. This shows the current training level of all pikemen in your army. You can upgrade his training level from regular to veteran, and from veteran to elite by clicking this button and paying the associated resource cost. This increases many of the unit's attributes, such as attack rating and hit points, and applies to all the pikemen you currently own and will build in the future. This training is lost when the pikeman upgrades to become halberdiers in future epochs, so it is important to know how long you plan on using a certain unit before deciding to train it. When you are ready to continue, select the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan at the location currently being flared.
Oh, Tenochtitlan, okay.
This is one of the wonders of Empire Earth 2, a special set of buildings that have unique properties. Each regional group of civilizations has a wonder unique to their culture that they can build throughout the game. Each wonder has a specific power associated with it. For instance, the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan has the power of proselytize. When any of your priests successfully convert a unit, there is a possibility nearby enemy units will also be converted. Select your priest at the location being flared to experiment with this. It's time to drive the Spanish from their foothold in the region. More troops have been created for you near your outpost, and the location of the enemy's base has been revealed. Drag select your military and control right-click near the enemy city center. You can add all these units to Control Group 1 by having them selected and simply pressing Control 1 again if you wish.
Okay. This is it, man. Tonight, we dine in hell. Three ships, staggered line. Shipmaster, the number is 3 to 1. It is an even fight.
Take a look at the unit icons in the unit information display. This shows you how many and what types of units you currently have selected. While they're underway, select the pikeman icon and then select the capture button in the pikeman's action panel. Put the cursor over the enemy's city center and left click. This will order the pikemen to capture the city, while everyone else will attack any defenders. Units tasked with capturing the building will not respond to being attacked, so it's important to have other troops supporting them. When the city center is captured, you will get a share of the previous owner's resources. Capturing warehouses, docks, and markets will also allow you to steal some of the owner's resources. If you select the enemy city center, you can see the building's loyalty rating in its information panel. The more units you have trying to capture this building, the faster the rating will drop. When it reaches 0, the building will be yours, and this tutorial will end.
Oh. Destroy it first.
As you command.
Oh, let's see. Destroy everything. I remember in science class we built trebuchets.
The Aztecs have defeated their most dangerous enemy yet. A foreign power, using technology the Aztecs had not even dreamed of, was decisively driven from their shores. Congratulations on completing the second Empire Earth 2 tutorial.
Thank you, Ferdinand. Okay, I think that'll be it for today.